previously, or my business previously with the ski company, and kind of understanding this concept. And it's something that I think relates to every single one here. And I don't know if you know kind of the concept of a false summit, but I guess to put it in perspective, have any of you ever been driving in a car with a baby in the back seat, the baby's super quiet, and you're thinking, oh, I just need to get home, I'll be there in like 5 minutes. Then mentally you're kind of prepared for whatever, just to drive home. Then the baby starts screaming. Then you hit every red light, and instantly it's a lot harder than you thought it was. And the effort that you thought you'd have to expend to get to home is a lot harder. You get this discouragement area, and then it's just so much more. It happens with climbers all the time, and so that's kind of the premise of the false summit. They're climbing, and they look up, and the highest peak that they can see is kind of what they're prepared for. And it's the reason a lot of people don't get to the top of Everest. It's the reason a lot of people don't succeed in business. I mean, it happened to us back in 2012. We were growing like crazy. We, month over month from when we launched as a party climb business, was about 70% growth every single month, which is insane. Even the crazy growth that we had over the past 18 months, 2 years, whatever it's been, that didn't come close to those 70% jumps. I mean, it was unreal. And then all of a sudden we hit a peak, and we kind of leveled off and dipped a little bit. And that was a size that was, it was right after our first conference. We were kind of plateaued for a little while with all 150 to 200 people that came to our conference, and I thought, well, that's as big as we can ever get. I think we all kind of got into that discouragement zone of like, what are we doing wrong? What needs to change? And we were growing so fast, but it's very natural for these kind of like false summits to occur. So you kind of dip a little bit, regroup, figure out what's next, and then you really race to the peak. One of the interesting things about hitting a false summit is when you're on top of that false summit, do you really get the view? I mean, you kind of can see a little bit, you see where you came from, but you're not at the peak, you're not where your goal was. And so it was a very interesting topic, as Jared and I were kind of talking for a little while, about what you guys go through. I mean, everyone here, and I'm totally going to use my note cards because I can. Everyone here has kind of a mental preparation or an expectation of what it's going to take to be successful. Who here has kind of experienced everything according to your original plan? Raise your hand if your business has gone 100% how you planned it out day one. Okay, and for those of you that are not raising your hand, look around the room and see all the people that are raising their hand. There's 0? I don't know. Yeah. It's crazy because we all come in with a certain amount of effort and expectation. And so I kind of want to talk about perseverance, about really kind of overcoming that false summit and getting past that expectation of what it is it really going to take versus kind of what you thought it might take. So we brought a picture of Mount Everest. Who has even felt like their business is like somebody Mount Everest at times? I mean, there are a lot of hard things, and this, I mean, for me, is stepping out of my comfort zone. I know you guys think I've done this a lot, but I get nervous getting up here. The bright lights are a huge help because I can't see half of you right now. It's great. So I can just kind of talk and assume that no one's here listening. And so, for me to get up in front of you guys, it takes some effort, and I get nervous, and I start stumbling over my words. My brain just goes to mush, and I pull out the note cards. So for me, this business has been, in a sense, kind of comparative to summiting Everest. It's this huge effort, huge accomplishment. I don't think we're at the top yet. In fact, I know we're not. And so, with this, I kind of wanted to just draw the comparison of you guys and going through your career path, whatever it may be, whatever your goal is. Do you guys know how Everest works? Do people just go climb it and just keep going up, 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 up the whole time? They don't. What happens is they go up, and then they come back down a little bit. And then they go up, and then come back down. Do you guys know why? You have to acclimatize to the elevation. No one really lives up at that high elevation permanently. And so when you're going up there, you go up, your body starts to adjust and get used to it, and then you go back down and kind of hang out there for a little while. And sometimes people hang out in their base camp for weeks or months just kind of preparing, waiting for the right season. Sometimes people only get to base camp. So we look at our career path in a similar way. If you think that every day in your business is just going to be better than the previous day, you're going to sell more every single day, and it's just going to be a perpetual climb, then you're kind of setting yourself up for that discouragement. Because at some point you are going to hit your own personal false summit. You're going to get up there and realize, hey, this was harder than I thought it would be. This is taking longer than I thought. And you're also going to have the realization like, hey, this actually takes effort, which it does. All of the leaders here that are really successful, they know how hard it is. And if you talk to them and kind of break it down, they've gone through probably multiple false summits of hitting kind of what their original goal was, and then realizing, hey, I've got to kind of acclimatize here for a little bit, figure out then how to get to the next level and keep growing. So when you kind of compare this is something that I personally, as we keep hiring more people, there's so many more, like even in this room alone, there are thousands of smarter people in the room than me that can get up here and give better messages. This is one that was kind of really personal to me because it's something that I've experienced, and I hope, can relate to you guys. With every business that I've started, with every experience that I've had, there have been kind of the, going up, hey, we can get to there, and then we realize that's not actually the end goal, or we realize where we are was a lot harder than we thought. We've got to kind of catch our breath. We have our discouragement, and then we need to keep going. I put this up here. The next two slides are kind of an interesting kind of take on really what people are jumping into. And this, I don't know if this is anything that we've ever really shared, but about 8 out of 10 consultants that have ever joined Jamberry, they have made enough commission in the spring. It's usually in their first or second party. We've designed it so if they really are working hard, it can happen for everyone in their first party if they have a strong, successful first party, or in their first few. So 8 out of 10 have earned their commission to pay back their kit. And we've loaded the kit with a lot of products, so they're kind of just buying product that they can use. The other 2 out of those 10, almost all of them, and this is kind of an interesting statistic, are what we call kidnappers. And so really anyone that's kind of jumping in and trying, almost 100% success rate of paying off their kit. And so when we look at that, we're like, how low risk is that? That's so great to get people in the door, but then it's also about setting that expectation for people and making sure that they can, start up their path, set their right goals, and then you guys can help coach them and set the expectation of, hey, it's going to be hard, you're going to have to work, but we're here to help you. And when we say we're here to help you, we know you guys are helping your teams, but we're also here to help each and every one of you
succeed. Message by Adam Hepworth, our CEO.
This is one that we've also never really shared, and I want to put it up here because I think it's really interesting and telling. If you look at some of these, we've had certain consultants, lifetime earnings have gone over $1 million. We've had executives that are earning hundreds of thousands. And the bottom one, some of you are who's a team manager here? We know you see this number, like, wait a minute, that's not me. And it kind of goes back to that false summit. You have a goal as, hitting a team manager, and what does that look like for you? Hitting a team manager versus maybe hitting your financial goal may not be exactly aligned. You may get there, realize, hey, I'm earning kind of close to what I was wanting, or I'm getting there, but then it's kind of discouraging because you weren't at that final goal. You may need to kind of regroup, get back, and get up to the target that you're shooting for. But the thing that I want to encourage everyone is this is not a fluke. People that are hitting this is not something that they lucked into. It's never that way. There are certain ranks kind of lower that you can call up a few friends and everything's great, and it seems like it just happened on its own, and that happens. I mean, statistically, there's so many people there that you can luck into certain ranks, but to be kind of a consistent earner in this business, it takes work. But we know you can do it. We know that you guys can persevere, and it's kind of what we're doing at home office. Every day we go in, we know there's new challenges that arise, and we know that you guys are who we're working for. And as kind of the final slide, I just saw Mary Kay sign at the airport. And I just thought it was interesting because they had their summit. It's a 2-week event. And in the US alone, they have 300,000 new consultants sign up every single year. Isn't that crazy? It's kind of gives us a perspective of like, really? Are we even close to our summit? I don't think so. Anyway, I'm all out of time. And as usual, I probably went over a couple minutes, but I really appreciate my time with all of you. We love you, each and every one of you. No, this is not it. We really do. We know that you guys sacrifice so much in your business. All the people at home office are here, and they work so hard for you, and we know how hard it is to do what you do. This is a sales business. It's hard to get in front of people and sell product. You guys do it so well, so thank you so much. Really enjoy this weekend. We have done so much to get this ready for you, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great rest of the day.